it was like my whole head bopped off. Well, that's a little dramatic. Hey fam, this is a very, very exciting video for me. I am so thrilled to announce that I am collaborating on this video with AyyyeeeitsAmanda. So I'm so excited. We have been speaking about doing a collab for at least like 6 months. It has to have been at least 6 months. Amanda, was it like 6 months, 9 months, something? It has been a minute. So very, very excited to finally be collabing with her. She is, I'm gonna try not to get mushy. I'm gonna try. But Amanda is an amazing person. An amazing person. And she's a beautiful artist, and I just love her so, so much. She has been such a dear friend to me. She has been an advisor and a cheerleader and a therapist. She has been such a blessing to me. I just can't say enough about her. She has such a wonderful spirit about her and energy. I love her enthusiasm and her creativity. She is such a compassionate, kind, sincere, and thoughtful person. And I'm so grateful for her every single day. We talk all the time and we definitely have plans to meet up. Yeah, I'm very, very, very stoked. So she actually came to me with this video idea. She said when thinking of this video idea, she immediately thought about me because she knows we are two of a kind when it comes to eyeshadow palettes and many other things in our makeup collection. This is actually going to be part 1 of a 3-part little mini series for both of our channels. I totally encourage you to go check her out. She is amazing. I will leave her channel linked in my description box and check out her collaboration. So anyway, we're like, what is this video? Girl, what are we doing? What are we all doing here? So what we are doing is we are going to be going over all of my eyeshadow palettes that I've never used. Now, some I have swatched, some I've never even touched, but none of them have ever gone on my face, ever. It was astounding to see all of the palettes I've never even touched. And I have reasons for some of them and no reasons for others, other than I just haven't gotten around to them yet. But so we're gonna go through everything. We're also going to do a base product with foundations and concealers and powders and all that good stuff. And we're going to do a highlighter, bronzer, and blush as well. So it should be a really fun series. I'm really excited. I can't wait to see all her eyeshadow palettes. We were writing each other like, oh my gosh, this is going to be humongous. So anyway, let's get into it. Okay, so to start, I'm going to start with honorable mentions. I'm going to start with some non-palette eyeshadow items. The first of which is my Super Shock shadows. Just recently, I finally tapped into this color, and Blaze, which is around here somewhere, but most of these I've never ever worn. In my Get Ready With Me with the new ColourPop foundation, the Fresh It Up, Super Fresh, Be Fresh, some kind of fresh. I finally got to use some of these Super Shock shadows. I had used, I think, 3 of them in that video. The rest of these I've never applied on my eyes, never used. So I was grateful in that video to finally start playing with them to kind of get the feel. I think I was a little intimidated, but you know, to do a whole eye look with Super Shock shadows, I want to do that with some of these pretty yellow tones I got with the Honey palette. So yeah, honorable mention to these. Another mention to my Zodiac loose pigments. I have used this one, this blue one. That's it. I have plans for them, especially this lovely periwinkle blue, but I just have not used these. I have not used these Zodiac palettes. I totally intend to, but I haven't reached for them. So I'm hoping they'll get a lot more love in my collection very soon. And thirdly, some dropping stuff. The majority of my Stila glitter and glows and shimmer and glows have never ever made it onto my eyeballs. So I'm super excited about this collection. I had mentioned in my Allure Beauty Box unboxing that I have not tapped into the majority of my Stila glitter and glows, and I've just started to kind of get more use out of them. I had some duplicates in my collection, which is tells you how much I was shopping and how disorganized it all was, and couldn't even keep track of what I had and what I didn't. So these 2 guys don't really fit, but the rest of them fit in here pretty nicely. But yeah, I'm hoping to get a lot more use out of these. I've started to tap into them. I put a couple in my Shop My Stash that were dupes. In my collection, I had 2, a big one and a little one. like this size, and then the full size, like this, same color. So I put the few that I had that were doubles in my Shop My Stash basket, and so I try to get more use out of them, and it's really been inspiring me to tap more into my Stila Glitter and Glows and liquid shadows. So I'm thinking I'm gonna get a lot more use out of these in the future. Lastly, I have these 3 House Laboratory shadows. I have a gold one, a silver one, and a black one. So I have not used these yet. I plan to do a video with these guys, and I want to do like a really editorial look and like just kind of go like all out. Just have fun with them. I just want to do something really dramatic and cool. So, but I have not even touched these. I've only swatched them. So that's it for my like kind of singly shadows and loose shadows and liquid shadows. Let's get into the palettes. I don't know, I could even go by like brand almost, but we'll just kind of start. We'll start where we start. So to kind of start, these 2 Lime Crime palettes, I found them at like TJ Maxx and Marshall's respectively. And these are really, really cute palettes. I just haven't used them yet. And I'm just like, what are you doing with your life? So they're both really pretty little quintets, I guess it would be. This one at least has one matte shade, this caramel color, but the rest are shimmer. And this one is completely shimmer. So I think that's probably why I haven't really tried them yet. However, it's funny, Amanda often likes doing shimmer in the crease, and I hadn't really heard of that before. And then lately I've been hearing so many different YouTubers say, you can totally do shimmer in the crease. You can do a full shimmer look. And I'm like, I'm feeling so much more inspired now. I'm like, wait a minute. I was like, poof, like my whole head bopped off. Well, that's a little dramatic. But you know, it was just like one of those moments. And I was like, wow, like that sounds really cool to do like an all shimmer look. And it also might be a nice occasion if you did an all shimmer look to go in with some of those liquid shadows on the lid. I think that would be like really beautiful. Just a beautiful shimmery array on your eyes. Another little mini Lime Crime palette I have is this plushies I also picked up, I believe, from Marshall's. And this is a little quad. This does have some more mattes in it, and I actually thought that these would go really well together since there are so many shimmer colors in these little quintets. This little all matte quad might be perfect with those. Another little quad I have from Lime Crime is this rose gold quad. This is the Venus XS Rose Gold. So these are beautiful colors. I saw this as a perfect little quad for work, and it totally is. I can't wait to tap into this. I just haven't yet. I've grabbed for bigger palettes, and these littler ones can sometimes get a little lost in my collection. So I'm glad that I'm taking this time to kind of see what I have and to try to get more use out of the products I haven't even tried yet. Another one of these little guys I haven't tried is this Solid Gold palette by Lime Crime. So here we have the same sort of little quad with different arrays of browns. I do have one that's also gray, and that one I have used. And I've had it on, tried it on my eyes. I swatched it in my creating my own smoky palette video. I did swatch that there. So I have gotten some use out of that one in addition to swatching it, but these I have not swatched or worn at all. So the last Lime Crime I have is this Lime Crime Venus palette. This is the second one, I believe. But it is beautiful. It's the first or second, I can't recall. But it's got a lot of beautiful like berryish and wine tone shades. This would be beautiful for fall. We're in like the right season for this. I've tried the other two. The purple one I've worn a couple times. And then the one that's like more grungy, it's got like, I think like a blue and a yellow and a green and like a black with blue sparkle. That one I did wear once. I actually have a photo with that on my Instagram. Not the greatest picture ever, but I really like the eye look and I wanted to share it with you guys. That's just kind of how I roll. But I have not even touched this one. So I'm very, oh no, I did swatch this one, but I have never used it. So I still have the plastic seal on it. So I am hoping to get a lot more use out of this. I really like these palettes because the palette is kind of inspired by these beautiful paintings. And so I think it really kind of shows you how, even if it looks like a strange color combination, it shows you that, you know, these colors, especially here in this part of the painting, how beautiful they can look together. Let's do some smaller ones over here. So I have two Laura Gellers that I have never tried. I've decluttered a lot of Laura Geller out of my collection, not a ton, but I did declutter a bit. But these two I did not want to declutter. I haven't gotten to use them yet, but I think they're absolutely beautiful. This little quad is a Southampton Classic, has 4 eyeshadows, and has a blush and a bronzer. And then the other one I have is Montauk Escape. My mirror's a little broken in here, so I have to be careful with it. It's got these 4 beautiful shadows, a little bit more of like almost like a nighttime look with a peachier blush and a bronzer. So I thought these were really beautiful. I did not want to declutter these. I think I'm going to get more use out of them. They're great for travel. I know I've mentioned I don't like the palettes that are curated with face products as well, but I really do like these. I think they're really cool, and I like the color stories a lot, and she has very great products. Another Laura Geller that I have never even used it is this little guy. So I have to be really careful opening this because when I bought it, I didn't check it and it was broken. Well, one of the shades was shattered, but the pigment in here is so beautiful that I'm just gonna make it work, girl. So this is the Iconic New York collection. It is 3 shades. You have basically a matte cream color and then a shimmery gold and a shimmery bronze. So I'll tilt it up very lightly. You can see it's very crumbly, but these colors are super pigmented and creamy. And I wear golds and browns and oranges and all that kind of stuff to work all the time. So I absolutely think I'm going to get great use out of this. I just haven't tapped into it yet. So then let's move on to some of these guys over here. All right, so I have the Nubian Mini by Juvia's Place. And this I received in my second Allure Beauty box. It was the Carly Bible collab. So this is a beautiful array of matte and shimmer shades. It's perfect for this time of year, the fall season. And I think this is a beautiful palette. It's great that it's small so you can travel with it. And it's nice that there's a nice array of mattes and shimmers. You can totally make a full look out of this. I just haven't touched it. I have not touched it. So definitely need to get more use out of that. I only have 2 Juvia's Place eyeshadow palettes. I have the original Warrior palette, and then I have this little guy. So I just started getting into Juvia's Place maybe a month ago. I had tried the palette like once or twice before, and it kept messing up. I kept trying to film a look with it, and I just had to keep scrapping the footage. I just couldn't get it to work. And then I put it in my Shop My Stash to really just like play with it for the week, and I totally got it to work. It's beautiful and I really like it. So now I feel a lot more inspired to tap into this one as well. Then moving right along, I have the Violet Voss Creme Brulee Fun Size palette. This I mentioned in a BoxyCharm video when we received the Violet Voss Essentials palette. I mentioned that I think I'll finally get a little bit more use out of this one because this is mostly shimmery shades. 2 of the 4 mattes have glitter. Then you have this like kind of like brow bone color and this like orangey peachy color. So I just haven't reached into this yet, though I totally think I can. I was just not really sure like what I wanted to do with this, like in terms of a look. I keep like looking at it and then putting it back, but it's really pretty, but I've never worn it. I do think I'll get a lot more use out of it when combining this with the Essentials palette because there are many more mattes in there, and I think I'll be able to get a complete look. You can make a complete look as long as you're comfortable using mattes with glitter, but if you're not so much into that life and you want darker mattes, I think combining this with another palette, that's the key. I have 1 Cargo palette that I have not tried. I did mention that I've decluttered a lot of Cargo for my collection. I did keep the Namaste in India palette because I think it's beautiful. This one I have not tried yet, but I could not let it go because I love these pans. I think they're so interesting. You have these gradients of color that remind me of the Kevyn Aucoin like highlighter face palettes they have, but you've got like these beautiful neutrals. You've got some blues, and there's like different mattes and shimmers. So you've got like a shimmer one here that's got pretty like coppery warm colors. You've got a matte like lavender cool tones, this kind of smoky blue with some shimmers and mattes. And then you've got this like neutral matte. So I haven't tried it yet, but I couldn't get rid of this. It's just so beautiful. It's so beautiful. So I'm hoping to get more use out of this and give it a try. Never tried it on my face. I don't know what's going on. I just have too many eyeshadow palettes, clearly. Then moving into Profusion, I have 3 palettes by Profusion I've never tried. And the first of which is the Royals palette. So you've got a nice mix of mattes and shimmers in here. I totally think this is a very wearable palette, even for work. I think you could totally get away with making very wearable looks with this palette. And it's beautiful. And Profusion has, I think, my favorite like drugstore quality eyeshadow to date. I tend to like some like bronzers and blushes and highlights from the drugstore. I think there's some great foundations at the drugstore and concealers, face powders. I just haven't gotten along great with like eyeshadows from the drugstore, but I also haven't tried them in a really long time. It's all I used to wear ever, but I never really got a lot of pigment. So if y'all know some great drugstore palettes that you are loving, let me know. For me, Profusion is the way to go with the drugstore. These are available at Target. I think they're now at Walmart as well. Maybe not this exact one, but their shadows in general are great. And then also I have the chocolates and Wanderlust, both of these. I have not tried yet. I heard great things. I think Kelly Gooch was just talking about the Wanderlust palette. She has a different version of it. This might be like it's just older packaging. I got both of these at, actually all three of these at TJ Maxx, I believe. Yeah, Marshalls and TJ Maxx, I believe. I got all of them. But the quality is so great in Profusion palettes that once I tried one, I was like, I need to try more. I also have one from Morphe I haven't tried, only swatched, and that is the Morphe 25A. This is the Copper Spice palette, and I actually purchased this pretty early on in my little makeup journey. I purchased this to go along with the Volcano Goddess eyeshadow palette because there weren't that many like deep mattes in there. I was like, this will be perfect with that. Not thinking that like every palette has these types of shades for the most part, but I do think this is a really pretty palette, especially for this time of year. I plan on pulling this out for a Shop My Stash in the coming weeks, especially while we're still in the fall season. Maybe I'll do it next week or maybe the week after because I think I want to pull out those Suva palettes next week. Maybe I'll pull out all three. But I do think there are some beautiful fall tones in here. It's very wearable, neutral. I love copper colors. I wear these types of colors all the time, and I'd like to get more use out of this palette. Let's go to Huda next, because I have a couple palettes by her that I have not touched. Now, the reason for these is definitely not a quality thing. It's definitely not an excitement thing. It's definitely not a opportunity thing. It is a, I feel like they're too pretty to touch type of thing, which I need to get over because my makeup is going to expire that I spent my money on. And so I can't just hold on to stuff to hold on to it and not use it, or I won't get my money's worth that I spent. So these four palettes, the first of which is the Neon palette. I picked this up in New York and from Sephora. This is a gorgeous palette that I wanted all summer and then finally picked it up and then didn't touch it yet. So I will be saving this for next summer. But these colors are so beautiful, and I mean, maybe I won't even save them for next summer. Maybe I'll use them sooner, but I think this is a beautiful summer palette. The colors are so exciting and I love how it's curated and it's just beautiful. And then I have the Huda Emerald Obsessions. I know Amanda's been asking me like, what do you think about this one? I haven't touched it. That's what I think. I'm like, oh my God, it's so pretty. I don't want to mess it up. These are gorgeous colors. I love green eyeshadow. I've been like obsessed with it for like 2 months now. I can't like stop eyeballing it everywhere. I'm just like, oh my God, it's so pretty. I just need to get around to actually using it. The Huda Beauty Sapphire Obsession is another one that's just been too pretty to touch. These turquoises with those royal blues gives me life. And that neon green, like, I can't. It's so pretty. I just haven't touched it, and I need to get over that. I only have one Too Faced that I haven't touched, and that is the Sparkling Pineapple Eyeshadow Palette, and this is their Tutti Frutti line. Once I saw this palette, I had to have it. I literally used my first little chunk of Ulta points and ran out and got this with Ulta points. I thought it was absolutely stunning, and I think it's so beautiful that I'm afraid to touch it. I have swatched this beautiful gold color because one night I was swatching all my golds just to see what they all looked like together. So I swatched that gold, but I've never used this on my eyes. It's too pretty to touch. And I love it. I've heard so many good things about the quality of this palette. These are my colors. Like, there's no reason other than I've just been like, no, let me play with palettes I've already played with and that are all dirty. Like, let me keep my pretty palettes pretty. And it's like, Joy, you've got to actually use your stuff. Okay, let's do one more that I only have one of, and that is this e.l.f. shadow. So I have both this one here, and I also have the one that's got blue in it. I got them both at TJ Maxx. This is the Velvet Touch eyeshadow. I believe these might be discontinued now, but if you can get your hands on these, they are amazing. These are pretty much all cream formulas. You can see I've dug my finger into that red one quite heavily, but I've never actually put it on my face. I just swatched them because they're creamy and amazing. So if you can grab these at TJ Maxx or Marshalls, if you see them, pick them up. They are fantastic if you like cream products and want to do something kind of like fun. Next, let's talk about some ColourPop. I have a lot from ColourPop. So I think a lot of these may surprise you, or some of them may surprise you. The first of which is the Dream Street palette. I bought this when I bought the Yes Please palette, and I've literally never touched it. I haven't even swatched it. I think because I keep seeing those beautiful teals and this orange, and I just want to do that look, and I haven't gotten around to doing that look yet, so I haven't reached for this palette or like touched it, but it's beautiful. And I totally want to get more use out of this. This is like a lot of people's favorite palette. The next 4 I have still in their boxes. I have the Sweet Talk palette, which is a beautiful peachy palette. This was like their spring collection. Again, too pretty to touch. Another one is the California Love palette. This was their summer collection. This is another one that was just too pretty to touch. There, it is gorgeous and it's perfect for fall. I don't know, it's like, it's hard. I don't know if you guys get this way too. Like, you kind of want things to stay nice in your collection, which is silly because it's there to be used. But I can get a little precious about stuff sometimes and want to keep things nice. But I have the ColourPop X's and O's palette. I have not gotten the whatever palette, but I may still pick that up. But this one I know people said looked like the She palette a lot, but I don't actually have the She palette, so this was perfectly fine for me to pick up. I wasn't going to dupe anything in my collection. And the last one I have, I believe was rumored to be like a Kylie dupe. And this one is the Truly Madly Deeply palette. I picked up both of those from Ulta. And this one is also absolutely stunning. It's got so many beautiful shades, beautiful pinks, lots of fun textures. There are some pressed glitters in here, which I know some people don't care for. I think there are 3 pressed glitters in here, but they are not considered eye safe. So you do want to be careful if you do ever try them around your eyes. They're really not supposed to be for your eyes, but they're in an eyeshadow palette. So, you know, at your own risk. The next are pretty much the majority of my rainbow palettes. Reason being is because I have wanted to do this series with you guys for forever. And I think what keeps stopping me is I have this beautiful idea in my head for the Blue Moon palette. I want to get into this so badly. I like have the whole idea already all situated, but I'm like, I can't start with blue. I've got to start with red, which is the one palette that I tried. So I have literally been putting all of these off. I mean, I took 2 of them out of their boxes, the purple and the yellow, but I've never used either one of them. I've never used the blue, the green, the Honey palette. When you saw me swatch that for the, if my duping the Naked Honey palette is up, I used 1 or 2 shades from the Honey palette. That was the only time I've ever touched it, was that video and in searching for these colors. I've never used it on my eyes, and the other ones I haven't even swatched. The green, the orange, and the blue I have not touched. The pink and the purple I have not touched. Just because I wanted them to stay perfect for these videos, and it's kind of silly because it would behoove me probably to do some pre-planning and to try some looks out and then film. So I do want to do those soon. That is totally in my list of things to do. I just haven't gotten to them yet, but that's why they have stayed untouched. Next, let's get into Melt. For Melt, I have everything. Everything I bought from Melt, I haven't touched because I'm feeling way too precious about them. I still have the plastic on everything. I have the, what is this one? The Impulsive palette. I also want to get one of their new releases. That's going to be for sure something in November I'm going to pick up. I'm still on the fence about a lot of things. The Smoke Show palette, I'm definitely picking up from ColourPop 100%. And then the Melt palette, I'm like 90% sure I'm picking that up. Everything else I'm still on the fence about. I'm still thinking about. There's a lot that I want, and that's exactly why I'm doing so much thinking. October taught me a lot, which we'll get into in an upcoming Get Ready With Me. And so I want to try to move forward from a better place with makeup and with shopping. We'll see how well I do. We'll see if I can handle like a low buy or something, or just try to be more careful with my choices, or maybe I'll continue my no buy. But that Melt palette is the thing of dreams. It is so beautiful. But this one, you can see here, I dropped plastic things on the floor. I have literally never swatched or touched or anything. I swatched this green in the store before I purchased this, and that's what convinced me. It's like an avocado green. It's really pretty. But these colors are so grungy and beautiful and unique, and I've heard so many wonderful things about the Melt formula that I've been afraid to touch it. I'm like, let me just grab for some palette I've used, 10, 20 times already, instead of grabbing for this freshie. I'm like, freshies! Yeah, I haven't touched this, and it's beautiful, and it's like a work of art, and it's super heavy and big and beautiful, and I love it, but I need to get into these products and get over my, I guess, trepidation around like besmudging these perfect little palettes. And I think a little part too was when I was really unhappy at my job. You guys, if you saw that, the tea Get Ready With Me, before like I got my new position, I was actually like prepared to just quit with no job. So like some of the more recent purchases I'd made, I was hesitant to take them out of their boxes or touch them because I'm like, God forbid I run out of money. Like I might be able to sell these, or if I'm feeling like you know, like if I'm not finding a job fast enough, like it might be good not to touch some of this stuff and to keep it perfect in case I need to sell it for money. So I'm like crawling out of that hole, and you know, I'm feeling less like afraid and stuff now. I love my new position and I love my new team. I have no plans of just quitting my job with no job. So I don't need to save these anymore. I just think it was a little bit traumatic for me to go through that experience, and I think it just took me a little bit even after I got out of that job to feel normal again. So definitely feeling better and excited to tap into these. But the next one is the Smoke Sessions palette. This one is a beautiful array of greens and some browns and yellows and golds. So it is a gorgeous, gorgeous palette. I told you guys I was like obsessed with green, and I still am. And I grabbed all of these palettes with this in mind, with these like inspirations of green. And so this is the Gemini palette by Melt as well. And this one is also beautiful with some beautiful fall tones, some really pretty greens. So it's just a absolutely gorgeous palette on the outside, on the inside. Melt just does such a cool job. They're just like a cool girl brand. I don't know, I'm not a cool girl, but like their stuff is just neat. It's like different and like edgy, and I love that. Next, let's look at some Natasha Denona palettes. So I have 5 Natasha Denona palettes I have not touched. 2 of them being the Mini Gold palette and the Mini Tropics palette. Again, because these are so beautiful and I wanted them so badly that when I got them, I didn't want to touch them. I was like, no, I want them to stay perfect. I'm ridiculous. This is a gorgeous array of like olive greens and golds and taupes. It is so beautiful. And even the packaging is gorgeous. These are like $25, so they're a nice, like more affordable way to try her formula in a way that's like approachable. There's only 5 shades and they're just gorgeous. And then this Mini Tropics palette is basically the bottom row of her Tropics palette, the most kind of exciting, colorful shades in that palette. So I have not tried this. I bought this one over the summer. I got this one recently. It was a holiday release. Another one is the Natasha Denona Sunrise palette, which I purchased months ago and have not even swatched. It's just so beautiful. Natasha Denona is so expensive that I've just felt like freaked out. I don't know, like to touch them. I'm just like, I need to get over it. Another one you guys saw around my birthday was the gold palette. I got this for my birthday from Doug. My birthday was in July. Have not touched this. I've looked at it a bunch. I've opened it and lusted after it, but I haven't actually touched it. So you have a lot of beautiful gold and tan and green blue shades. It's just stunning. And then last but not least, I don't even know if I told you guys I bought this. This is the Sunset palette. And after getting the Sunrise palette and hearing it was like a sister palette for this one, I'm like, well, I have to get that one then. Like, crazy person. So I have also not touched this one. I just thought it was beautiful. I've loved this for a really long time and it was always just like, no, I don't want to spend the money. I have these colors. And then I was just like, no, I do want to spend the money because I want it to be with its little friend here. So I show them to you guys together. These are supposed to kind of work together. Looking at them side by side, I don't know, but you know, I'll give them a whirl together and see. But I've heard so many wonderful things about her formula. I do love the Mini Nude palette. I've tried the Mini Sunset palette. Those are 2 that I have touched, that I own, that she made. But these I have not, because they're bigger and badder and more expensive and I need to get over it. Oh, I have a Pat McGrath palette that's still in the packaging. I think I wanted to save a couple things in the packaging for when I went over my collection, because I had a Sephora haul I never did with you guys. I just put everything away. I was like, oh, I'll leave them in boxes so when we go through my collection, I can kind of like haul the Sephora haul. I'm a mess. So I have not tapped into this. This is the Pat McGrath Labs Ecstasy Sublime eyeshadow palette. It's the little like warm tone one. I'd like to get the colorful one too, but they didn't have it at Sephora when I was there. Just because I think it's an approachable way to try her formula. They're very small pans, but as much eyeshadow as I have, this is just the stuff I haven't touched. This is not even my eyeshadow palette collection. So like, I don't need giant pans of super expensive eyeshadow. So I think just these little guys to try. You know, I'm excited about that, and I would like to pick up her colorful one. So I have this Smashbox Shape Matters palette. I almost decluttered this so many times, and who knows what the future holds. I've never touched this. Never touched it. It's got an eyeshadow, like a 9-pan eyeshadow palette. It's got 4 face shades and then some brow products. And also a Smashbox, Also a Smashbox brush down there, which my experience with Smashbox brushes, they are excellent. Just in the ones I've tried so far. I love their cream cheek brush, which I think is like $35, which is like expensive. But I found mine at TJ Maxx and I love it. So if you find it there, grab it. But yeah, this Smashbox Shape Matters palette, I haven't been the biggest fan. I tried those little like, those, I think they're like an 8-pan palette or a 10-pan palette. I didn't like the quality, so I've been like hesitant to tap into this one. It was like $35 or $39 at TJ Maxx. So I'm like, you spent $40 almost, $35, $40 at TJ Maxx for this thing. You had better get some use out of it. But I just haven't yet. So there may come a time when I declutter this. I want to at least try it first, just because it was so expensive and because I think maybe, maybe I would make a really great smoky look with this and be like, I'm so glad I didn't get rid of it. I want to at least try it. This little Bobbi Brown palette, I think I swatched it once. I thought that was really, really pretty. I don't have any other Bobbi Brown eyeshadows. This is my only one. I got this at TJ Maxx. I believe it was kind of expensive there too. It might have been like $35 too there. It's got this like little kind of like leatherish type of cover on it. I love the little gold emboss or gold lettering. It feels so fancy. I just have never touched it. I think the colors are really pretty. This would be perfect for work, but I would like to get more use out of this for sure. Another one that I love is this Ruby May #Brights palette. This came in my Try Beauty box, the very first one. This palette is so beautiful. I had a whole eye look planned with this. I'm like, okay, I know where I'm going to put, this will be in the crease, this will be here, this will be under my eye, this will be this will be that. And I planned on filming a video with this for you guys over the summer using these beautiful rainbow colors. And like, I really still want to, but I feel like now that we're in fall, like, does anybody care about rainbow colors? I feel like this would be better done in the summertime or the spring maybe. So I've just been like, I haven't gotten to tap into it yet, but I cannot wait to play with this. I think the colors are so pretty. I don't have anything else like this in my collection with these like almost like neon tones. They're so beautiful. So I'm definitely excited about this. The quality was pretty good from my swatches, from what I could tell, but I haven't tried it on my eyes yet. And then let's see, I have two BH Cosmetics palettes. I have the Zodiac Love Signs, which I have never touched. It is a beautiful palette. Still has the little cover thing on it, but I swatched this in Ulta and I thought it was beautiful. These are like little baked shimmer shadows and there's some mattes and a highlighter in the center. You could use that for also for like your inner corner or brow bone, something like that. But I thought this was absolutely beautiful. This was the second one. The first one was pretty too, but I like the tones in this one a lot better. So this is one I picked up, but I have not touched it. Not even Leo. I haven't even touched Leo. But I definitely want to get more use out of the Zodiac palette. I think this is another one that I was like, oh, it's fresh. I've never touched it. Let me just reach for the ones I have touched. I tend to be kind of like that where I like to kind of like work through things, or if I have like doubles, I'll just start trying to pan stuff. And the other one is the Aurora Lights palette. This one also still has the sleeve on it. And this one is absolutely beautiful. I think I have been hesitant to use this because the entire palette is shimmer. They're different formulas of shimmer. Like this row is one formula, this row is one formula, and this row is one formula. So these are more like toppers. These are metallic, I think. And then these are like, these are the toppers. I think these are metallic. And what is this one? Are these like glitter? Satin, metallic, and I think topper. I've never put them on my eyes. Like now that I'm feeling more inspired to try like all shimmer looks, thank you, Amanda, I think I'm gonna get a lot more use out of them. And I'm actually really excited to tap into them. They're pigmented, they're beautiful, they're unique. I don't have anything else in my collection like this. There is nothing else like this in my collection. So I definitely need to get more use out of this. I'm excited to tap into it. The time will come. You will have your moment to shine, Aurora Lights. Then let's get into, oh, I actually do have more than one Too Faced palette. My gingerbread palette, I actually hauled this on my channel. I was so excited to finally get this. I wanted it last year. It got pulled before I got a chance to get it because it was limited edition. It came back out over the summer and I snagged it. They do have the extra spicy palette out now, but I believe this one was way more my style. The colors are really, really beautiful. And this side always looks like it's just like blanked out, but it's actually like a beige, a shimmery white, and a light pink. So the rest of the colors I think look pretty good on camera. You can see them pretty well, but it's absolutely beautiful. I have not tapped into it yet because I'm like, I have other, warm tone eyeshadow palettes. I should just grab those and leave this one perfect and nice and new. I mean, isn't a year long enough to wait? I've been wanting to try this since last year. Like, I just need to get into it. So then I also have, this is gonna break Amanda's heart. I'm so sorry, girlfriend. The Dominique Cosmetics Latte Palette. I actually purchased this during, I believe it was the Sephora VIB sale. And I got it because Amanda recommended this so highly, and it is so beautiful. So beautiful that I haven't touched it. Recurring theme here that I need to fix about myself. It's such a beautiful palette. Like, it's so wearable, and Dominique herself was talking about how some of these colors can be used as like bronzers. Like, she wanted to be like a multi-purpose. You could probably set your eyes with this banana. If you like a banana powder, this kind of banana color would probably work under your eyes. So she wanted it to be multi-dimensional, multi-use. And she said that she was inspired by, I believe it's like her and her mom, and maybe her sisters or something. But I know she talked, I think it was her and her mom, how they talk over coffee and stuff, and she wanted this to be like a family coffee theme type situation. So very excited to tap into this, but so excited that I haven't done so because it's too beautiful. It's like too good. It's too nice. It's too pretty. Then for my Anastasia Beverly Hills, I have the Subculture palette. I bought this from TJ Maxx after the whole internet had said how terrible it was. I also heard it was reformulated and that the newer formula works a lot better. So I'm thinking that this is probably the reformulated version, since these were like new in boxes at TJ Maxx. I don't know. I just have like a strange amount of faith in myself that I'll be able to get this to work. So, and I've heard a lot of good things about it too. Some people really love it and other people are like, no. So I don't know. I think this is my favorite color story that ABH has ever had. This is right up my alley. It's that like greeny, grungy fall colors. I'll probably try it on my own first, just so I don't have like a fiasco video, but I love the color story. I thought about it for like months and months and months. I passed it up, and then finally I was like, I'm just gonna get this. Another one is the Alyssa Edwards palette, still in its box. This is so beautiful that I just haven't touched it. It's got these gorgeous bold colors. It's very, very colorful, very pretty. And it's just got a lot of life and energy and fun. Like, it's just, I don't know, I really like it. And I wasn't that into the nautical themed one. I wasn't into it. It was just too neutral with like random pops of color, which I already feel like I have enough palettes that have random pops of color with neutral. So I just wasn't really vibing with that one. But this one, I felt like it was full of colors I didn't already have in my collection, and I thought it was beautiful. And I haven't touched it because I'm afraid to mess it up. And same goes for the Jackie Aina palette, which I also am afraid to mess up. I bought this the day it released. I was so excited for Jackie. I was so excited for this beautiful package. Jackie is a fellow Leo, so I was like, girl, so excited for her. This was such an amazing opportunity, and the packaging is gorgeous. It's totally hollow and absolutely gorgeous. Reptile, like an alligator skin. The color story inside is stunning. I'm like, I want to like drool on this. It's so pretty. So you've got like a lot of like warm colors. You've got some pretty purples and pinks. And then you've got these amazing shimmer colors. You've got duochromes. It is gorgeous. And I don't want to mess it up. I'm going to have to get over that and tap into it and mess it up and get it all powdery. But in the meantime, I'm going to enjoy it in this little box in perfect condition until I tap into it. I have the Tarte Pro Remix palette. This I bought for full price before it went on Ulta sale, and now I think it's on sale too. I'm not even sure. I don't even know if it's still kind of out there, but I thought, as much as people want to rag on Tarte for their neutral colors, this palette is absolutely stunning. You've got this side that has like these intense shimmers. Then you've got other like beautiful shimmers throughout, this gorgeous purple, and then you've got some pretty wearable little mattes to kind of make things all come together. I thought this palette was stunning. I love this kind of like paint splash packaging. I also have the face palette that matches this as well. I think it's gorgeous, and I just haven't had an occasion to wear a ton of color, and I need to change that because, oh, and you even have like on the front, like it's that like kind of cool material where like the pattern moves. I don't know if you can tell on camera, but it like changes with when you tilt it. So I just think it's really cool. I think the colors are beautiful inside. I love this green, like pretty denim blues, beautiful purples, reds, golds. It's colors that you'd want to reach for. It's not like something out of control crazy, but like colorful and vibrant and fun, and like this really pretty, this looks like a duochrome green silver color. It's really, really pretty. Oh, this black purple, oh, it's so creamy. It's just like, what the heck? It's like, don't come for Tarte because Tarte put this out, and did anybody buy it? Did y'all buy this? Because I did, and I think it's gorgeous. They actually are capable of really, really beautiful colors, and if you guys see this and you like colorful stuff and you like Tarte, I think this is beautiful. So we're down to our last 3. I'm gonna leave this one for last. You know what, I'll just do it now. This is the Juicy Olive palette. I lusted after this for so many months, and it was out of stock and out of stock and out of stock, and I just stalked their webpage, and then one fine day it was finally in stock. It is like my green dreams. It is so pretty, and I feel like it's different enough from the Melt palettes in that it's a little bit more on like the limey avocado side and not as grungy colored. It's a little bit brighter, and I just think this palette is absolutely stunning. I actually have a flannel shirt that I picked up from TJ Maxx that I want to wear with this. Like all color coordinated. So I can't wait to tap into this. I wanted it so badly. It's so beautiful that I didn't want to tap into it. But those pan sizes are ginormous. So like I need to get started on it. You know what I mean? You feeling what I'm putting down? Last is these little Alamar Cosmetics palettes. I was so excited to try these palettes for the longest time. Sorry about that. I received her blush trio in BoxyCharm, and it was such a beautiful formula. Then I ordered the deep one, which is like darker red tones for that editorial look I was talking about. I'm like, I really want like dark red blush. Like I just see like this whole image in my head. So I got that. And while I was there, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna pick up these palettes. And I think they're actually gonna be, I think I heard from Elizabeth Wolf that they're gonna be in like the Charm Shop, or Pop-Up might have them or something. I'm not sure for Boxy, but I bought these full price from her site, and they're gorgeous. This is her second one, and it's got this really pretty green, a gold, some purples, pinks. So I thought this was gorgeous. The packaging is so tropical and fabulous. Miami is my second favorite place on earth. New York City is my first, but I love Miami, and that's, I believe, where Alamar comes from. Yep, Miami, Florida. So I'm so proud of her being like a young female entrepreneur and her own little brand. I think she's great. So the other one is the first palette. This one's a little bit more my color store, but I actually want to wear the 2 palettes together. So this one is a little bit more warm, and they're shades I would typically go for, except for that blue and the kind of blue-green. Those are colors I can't wait to tap into. They're beautiful, and I don't have anything like these really, like these 2 blues. Them being like metallic. I never tried her formula before. I really wanted to try these. These are beautiful, and I've heard so many good things about the quality of her palette. I love the packaging. I love that they're smaller and thinner little palettes, so they fit nicely in my collection. What do you guys think? Like, am I out of control? Am I not out of control? Do you guys have a lot of palettes in your collection that you have not tapped into yet? Do you also get precious about palettes, and if they're new and you get scared to touch them, or something's expensive and you're like, I don't want to touch it? I shouldn't get like that, because it's silly. If anything, I should be using the expensive ones first, because that's, you don't want them to expire or go bad or get moldy or anything. Like, get your money's worth out of stuff. Don't get precious about it. You're worth it, girl. I'm trying to learn that, so am I. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this little video. I'm like about to lose my voice from talking so much. So anyway, I love you guys so much. I hope this was fun. Amanda, I cannot wait to see what palettes you have not touched, see if we have any in common. Please go check her out. She is amazing. And I love you guys so much. I'll talk to you soon. Thanks again. Bye-bye.